Thank you very much, Madam Chair and colleagues. I'm really excited to bring this before you today because it's the culmination of all the work that the county has done over the past 2 years. I want to thank the Department of Public Works, Beaches and Harbors, the Ocean Cleanup, and most importantly, all the community members that have been involved throughout every stage of the Ballona Creek Trash Interceptor Pilot Project, affectionately known as 007. During the 2-year pilot of the Interceptor, the county experienced abnormal rainstorm seasons, including an atmospheric river and the effects of a hurricane. And the Interceptor couldn't have come at a better time. And to think, there was a moment where the Interceptor pilot was in limbo and in danger of not moving forward. There were concerns expressed by residents and hesitation about the Interceptor's location. We heard questions like, will it be too loud? Will it obstruct my view of the ocean? And most importantly, will it work? My team and I, along with our county departments, took those concerns seriously and integrated these questions into creating the minimum performance criteria during the pilot project to ensure that the impacts of the Interceptor could be thoroughly evaluated. And we're proud to say that the Interceptor 007 completed its mission by capturing over 50% of the trash in Ballona Creek and reducing trash on our county beaches without impacting the quality of life for our residents. In fact, since its launch, the Interceptor captured over, get ready for this number, 124 tons of trash, which is equivalent to 248,000 pounds of trash that was prevented from traveling from Ballona Creek into the ocean. So, in my humble opinion, the pilot has been a huge success thanks to the partnerships and the sustained community engagement that we cultivated throughout the pilot. Director Pastrella, thank you for being here and for your partnership in this. 2 quick questions for me, Madam Chair. If you'd give the details on what we created in the minimum performance criteria so people can understand how we established that criteria and how we exceeded it.
Sure. Thank you, Supervisor Mitchell, for your support throughout this project, this pilot project, a 2-year project that fits nicely into the county's objective of creating safe, clean, and reliable water for all citizens of Los Angeles County. So this pilot project had 4 main categories of performance measures, Supervisor, that we were measuring throughout the 2-year period. They came in the categories of operational effectiveness, community acceptance, impact on the environment, and then the impact of the education that this, the impressions, if you will, that were created of the 007 Interceptor. So on operational effectiveness, we were looking to see, could this device, which is unique in its kind, it's one in the United States, the mainland United States, one of 1,000 across the world, with the sole goal of reducing floatable trash and plastics entering into the oceans. The operational effectiveness measure was to see if the operational hours this could remain throughout a year. And in fact, the results of that is that we came up with a number of 90% of the time the Interceptor was in place, operational. Now, why this is interesting is because we have no other devices that we use at the end of our rivers that can actually operate that amount of time. In fact, the barriers that we put in now, those floating devices, they blow out with major storms. The Interceptor is designed to actually ride out major storms. In fact, as you said, it rode out the storms, these significant storms for the last 2 years that included, as you said, tropical storms, incredible amounts of rain, even rode out one storm event that produced 18,000 cubic feet per second running down Ballona Creek. That's like 18,000 basketballs going by every second, and each basketball weighing about 62 pounds. So the forces that were acting upon it could be significant, and from an operational effectiveness perspective, it did an outstanding job. It also, in part of operational effectiveness, did not impede storm flows, maintained our flood hazard criteria throughout its use. In terms of community acceptance, as you mentioned earlier, we did a lot of work in understanding how the community felt about the device, what their understanding of it was, and ultimately whether or not there was acceptance. In the end, Supervisor, we had very, very limited comments that were negative about it. And they, as you said, they were about the view and the aesthetics of the 007. The vast majority, over 100,000 impressions created, said that this was a great idea, something beneficial to the community, that we are very proud of the fact of the outreach that we did to find out. In fact, the support for this was overwhelming. The impact on the environment. The environment, as you mentioned, the goal with respect to impact on the environment was to reduce the amount of illicit discharges that are reaching the ocean. And an illicit discharge is defined by the state law as any discharge of pollutants of concern that could become toxic to humans or to wildlife. And trash is one of those pollutants of concern that we're worried about. In an average annual year without the Interceptor, as you said, we were looking at like 120,000 pounds of trash reaching out. We set a target goal of 60%, 60,000. Well, in fact, we met and captured 120 and 25 in every year with a total of 250,000 pounds, as you said.
So we exceeded our
So
goal
we
four times
100% exceeded it. So we met every measure. The other piece was of the environment was the trash removed also created a better environment for our beaches, not only the ocean, because this trash ends up on the beach. And we have pictures, lots of pictures of evidence of the improved pollution, captured trash, and improved situation within the beaches that receive that are impacted by those discharges. So overall, the Interceptor, Supervisor, has met all or exceeded all of the pilot performance measures and gone beyond. That's my response to that question.
I appreciate that very much. So colleagues, with today's motion, we are reaffirming the 007's effectiveness, that we more than exceeded the goals outlined and established through the 2-year pilot. And again, today's motion will direct the director to make the Interceptor a permanent fixture in our community so we can continue to prevent trash from entering our waterways. Thank you very much for being here today, and thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you.